Welcome back to LBG Reviews. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Before we dive into today's video, if you were wondering why my voice sounds so weird, I'm currently overcoming a cold and am very congested, so please bear with me while I try to get through this voiceover. So, we're finally doing it, boys. We're finally talking about Teardown. Teardown is a goofy game about doing some illegal demolition and thievery. Well, I suppose thievery is always illegal, huh? Okay. You play as a mostly unnamed, unless you actively read the in-game text, you can be unnamed if you don't do so. But basically, you play as a / demolition expert where your job is to go to the locations given to you, deal with the objects, or demolish the required building or section of building, depending on what the job has in store for you. You get given various tools at your disposal to make the job easier. You start off with a basic sledgehammer, a can of spray paint, and a fire extinguisher. Or actually, no, I think the fire extinguisher is an unlock that you earn as you play. But basically, you start off with a basic hammer and a spray paint can. And then from there, you gain access to the fire extinguisher, blowtorch, shotgun, C4, or a pistol, nitroglycerin, and a wide variety of other tools to be able to steal and demolish things more effectively. As far as I can recall, there are no big major accessibility features. I mean, it has sensitivity setting. So actually looking it up, I stand corrected. It does have accessibility settings, it's just that it didn't register in my head that these were accessibility settings to begin with. So you can adjust how long, or you can adjust the amount of time that alarms will go off before you fail a mission. You can adjust the amount of ammo that your guns have. You can adjust the amount of health you have. You can enable or disable the ability to skip missions. In the sandbox mode, you can automatically unlock all of the various locations and levels, so that way you don't have to play through the story mode to be able to mess around with them. You can also unlock all of the tools, so you don't have to play through story mode to gain access to them. And there's also an option to completely reset your progress. But beyond that, Teardown is a really fun game. I've played a decent amount of it. For the most part, I've mostly just watched people play the game. Part of the problem is that, and I imagine some of these accessibility settings that I just mentioned, I would imagine that they would help out, but part of the problem is that when it comes to, being tactical, planning things out, a lot of the times I'm not the best at that. Because, as a good example, the numerous times I've played Skyrim, the most I know Skyrim isn't a good way to talk about tactics, but for the most part, if I'm playing a stealth archer, which is a character built around the idea of being able to just sneak around and shoot at enemies with a bow and arrow, if an enemy spots me while I'm playing a stealth archer, I have no other tactics other than run away, come back when they've forgotten about me, and start shooting again. There is very little tactics, or very little emphasis on tactics placed in my brain. Like, you'll see me trying to be somewhat tactical in this video, but you don't see the tactics coming to fruition because I didn't even realize that I'd been recording the game for 15 minutes by the time that I had recorded that much footage. But with all of that out of the way, that's all I've got to say about Teardown. It's a goofy game, and it's got some goofy expansions where you play as a rich kid trying to please your parents, and also an expansion about Back to the Future, which I think is just really goofy, really fun. But that's all I've got to say about Teardown. Tune in next week when we talk about Baba Is You, a goofy little puzzle game about being able to rewrite the rules of the game itself. Tune in next week, guys. Sadly for the Baba Is You video, my voice is still going to sound like this because I record a few videos in advance before videos come out, but hopefully after the Baba Is You video comes out, hopefully I should sound better. See you guys next week.
LBG from the editing room. Correction, we will be doing our next retrospective video next week. I really need to get good at tracking dates, sheesh.